So this is my account I started 6 months ago. These are the 6-star units I managed to get. That is these are the units I managed to raise. This is the lower rarity. Whatever. Um, you don't need to worry about, well, the Lumen, Gladia, and Silence, the Paradigm are charity units, so they don't actually really count to the gacha rates. Blaze, I got it from the top op. I also got it from the kernel, somewhat luckily. Exercise was the kernel. Ifrit was exercise was a top. Ifrit was a top. Act was a top. Um, and I believe Nightingale was a top. Units that I actually would have tried to get were the ones I raised, which is Blaze, Surtur, Thorns, Mudrock, Saria. Not so much Blemishine. I got her and raised her. You haven't really used her much, especially since I got Saria. Archetto. I haven't used Posey yet. I just got her. Aya, Golden Glow. Two casters are very important. Those two are the ones I'd recommend. Asia. Asia Medic is not something you can easily get, so pretend she doesn't exist. If you need her, you have to borrow her. Lumen, sure. Nightingale, I would say at not quite full value of the 180, so probably like 120 unless you're really set and this is what you really need to proceed. Kieran and Inez are good, but they require they aren't going to have a shopper right up. And I would also recommend Calcit and Milnar from options besides these that are not in the shop. Mountain is also there. I just got him, so he's on his way up. The other ones here, Exercise, if you don't get Archetto, you might want to get her. You can also get a Cruise the Clean Gun from a recovery store, and Insider from a rerun or a recovery store, depending on when this is being viewed. So that'll happen at some point in the future, and that will be less important. Could also just get a 5-star, use that in the meantime. I got Archetto as an off rate early on, and so I'm using her. So of the units I'm using, they're all pretty easy to get except Aya, the Hivit Aska, and Kieran are Yato. Those can be borrowed, but then you can only borrow the one. I'm normally borrowing Milnar, who was been on banners twice and I've missed him, and getting other units instead, or whatever. Vanguards for the most part, Myrtle, Texas, and Ines, all you ever need. I needed Muesli's once on EX8 challenge mode for load trail because there were a lot of 3-block enemies and DP for defenders and guards were tripled. So the only way to do that, in my opinion, was to Muesli's out a Mudrock and get a block 3 that generated DP, and then just use that DP to print out my defenders and guards. Guard-wise, we got Blaze, Surtur, Thorns, Mountain, and a backup Lord's Guard. The rest haven't been needed. Defenders, we've got Mudrock, Saria, and I've got Quora. She's a bit light. Croissant or Hoshiguma would be nice pickups, but I managed to make it through most of that without them. I'm probably going to try to see if I can do it with Croissant before deciding to pick up Hoshiguma. Snipers, again, Archetto was doing what I needed here. Obviously, an E1 Cruise. I've got the option for Insider. I've got the option for Exercise off top. But for now, all I needed was one Marksman Sniper. And yeah, casters. I started with Pudding. I used her a lot because I did not get Age of Phala and Golden Glow until the kernel banner was reduced like 4 months in, 3 months in. Age of Phala, I would definitely pick up off the kernel. First kernel. Just set her in the shop and buy her. Golden Glow made everything a lot easier having a second caster because there's a lot of double blanks. Medic wise, I've got Perfumer. I've got, and then I've got Perfumer and Palopsis, who are used for the beginning. And then I picked up Lumen and Aya when they became available. I've also got Nightingale. I do not have medic issues. Yeah, that's 2 or 3 AoE medics and 2 whatever. I would strongly recommend a Palopsis. She has been very useful. Supporters, there are 2 5-star supporters, slow supporters, Estina and Proviso. I also picked up Glaucus off some crowd control plus slow tag. Um, I would say Estina is going to fit any of your slow supporter needs. You don't need a 6-star of those. If you don't get Estina from recruitment, which I think I'd have to look at her tags, they keep changing the tags. Used to be very easy to get her from recruitment. You could also get her from select. I would not recommend a selector, but yeah, I don't use her that often. I used her before I got my Aya and Golden Glow. Only time I used her recently was when casters were banned. Orders, specialists, Gravel, and Shaw, E1. That's probably all you need. If you want a fast redeploy, normally you want to borrow Texas. I did pick Gladia. I picked up for reasons. She has a lot of reasons. She's free, and then Kieran. You can't get her, so don't worry about it. You just borrow Texas is probably what you want to do for most situations. I use Kieran, and sometimes you might want to borrow Kieran, but you can't. You can't get her. So my team. Only thing I'm missing here that I've been trying to get is Milner, and I cleared all the content. Says all stages cleared. I've also cleared all the challenge mode, all the side stories, all the intermezzi, and all the extreme stages except chapter 12. Like I did chapter 11.4 just now. Chapter 12, I have not attempted its verse yet, but I did all the other stages, so it's unlocked. I currently have 200, maybe 70 pulls. I'm going to spend them all on Typhoon. That is my setup right now. I'm also running a 243. People will advise you on a 252. I haven't noticed much need for more than what I have. Obviously, I would have Mountain up, maybe a little faster, but I got Posey up. I got enough stuff to clear all content. At this point, it's certainly not urgent. What you get is you get a lot of stuff from IS2 and IS3 milestones. So once you get through that, you won't be needing to worry about the marginal efficiency increase from a 252 from 243. 243 is more expensive to set up. I would not recommend doing it, but I did it so I wouldn't have to switch over, and I didn't want to do the other one. I don't like it. You can get into Y. I just don't like not having facilities max just because they're not as needed. Anyway, that's my team. I made about level 80, almost level 81 in 6 months. And I cleared most of the content. Oh, and I also cleared all the rotating annihilations. I did a clear of SSS through the missions. I didn't actually do my SSS this week because I don't need it. Yeah, that's my account. My account's pretty set. It'll probably finish the H stages in a few days when I E2 Mountain.